It's Michelle Pippin with Women Who Wow, the premier online mentoring and coaching platform for this seriously driven woman entrepreneur. If you are a driven woman entrepreneur, if you have aspirations beyond just your local sandbox, if you want to make a dent in the world, in your industry, and you are done playing small, now might be an amazing time to join Women Who Wow. I'm really excited to kick off the Women Entrepreneur Success Show. And it's going to be every week, every Tuesday at 12:15. It's going to be kind of like a video podcast, but we're going to tackle some real practical issues and just kind of, put our heads together and make sure that we are doing all that we can do to guarantee our own success. So I'm very, very excited about that. We do have some very generous giveaways, and I'm excited to go and talk with you guys about that. Somebody here today is going to win a pretty ginormous gift box. If you've ever seen those the big like Food Lion bags like that you buy so you don't have to keep reusing the plastic bags, it's at least that full. Just a free product, free full-size product that you will love. Everything from vitamins to knives to makeup to candles to food, all these different things. So it's going to be a pretty amazing gift bag. So I'm excited about that. We are going to draw a winner sometime during this episode of the Women Entrepreneur Success Show, where we are tackling the top 7 issues or challenges faced by women entrepreneurs. So I'm very excited about that. And sometime during this, we are going to draw for a winner. And in order to win, then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to make a comment and or share the Women Entrepreneur Success Show. So whatever you want to do, you want to make sure that you are making comments in the comments below, letting us know you're here, maybe even telling us what you do. And in the first little bit of this, while I share this, I would love for you guys to anticipate what you think I found for my research were the top 7 challenges faced by women entrepreneurs. So while I share this video, I do want to have you guys comment and let me know, what do you think are the top challenges faced by women entrepreneurs? So I'd really, really love to have you guys weigh in on that while I share this. And let me know what your thoughts are. For any of our members, we had a pretty frustrating day today. We always have trainings and mastermind and Q&A on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. and Zoom would literally not let me in. I saw you guys sitting there and it would not let me in. So, all right. So Carol says mindset and overcomplicating things. That's definitely, those are things that I would definitely have said were some challenges. So that's perfect. Anybody else want to weigh in on who is, what the top 7 challenges are? And Carol, for being the first comment, you win a gift box. It's gonna be heading your way around Wednesday of this week, so you'll get that, and you are gonna love it. Elizabeth is watching. Elizabeth says overwhelmed, very, very awesome. Self-care, perfect. Anybody else have any ideas for what the what the challenges faced by women entrepreneurs are? Pricing, yeah. And those are actually really great suggestions, and they all tie back to some of the challenges that, actually, I did not make this list of 7 challenges. I actually Googled it, and I'll put my own spin on it. So I did not Google the solutions. I only Googled the list. And so if you're here, if you're just coming on, like, let us know where you are, who you are. And McKenna, that's one of them. In actually balancing business and family life is actually word for word one of the challenges. And so we're going to look at overcoming it. And I really, I Googled the 7 top challenges faced by women entrepreneurs. I found this list of 7. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, tell like my perspective on this and help us through those. So as I go along, remember, you are going to win a chance for the gift basket. Carol's already won. She was the first comment. And in a little bit later, I'm going to have somebody pick a number. And then that number, oh, I can't tell you that. Then somebody could cheat. I'm not going to do that. All right. So anyway, so we are going to, we're going to keep going. So let's talk about the challenges. The first challenge on this list was defying social expectations. Defying social expectations as a primary challenge for women entrepreneurs. And here's my thought on that. If you are having to defy a lot of social expectations in your life, you need a new social circle, right? That is part of why Women Who Wow is Women Who Wow. That's part of why we grew by invite only for 18 solid months. Print invite only. That's why we did that. Because I never wanted to feel like a big fish in a small pond. I never wanted to be mediocre. I didn't want to surround myself with people who would make me feel good about being mediocre because they were less than mediocre, right? So when I surround myself with people, I surround myself with people who expect me to succeed wildly, right? If you are not surrounded by people who expect you to succeed, who expect you to kind of do less because you're a woman, you need to defy social expectations, I guess, in the general sense of the word, but you need to upgrade your social environment, frankly. So if that's one of your challenges, we need to upgrade your social environment, right? And joining Women Who Wow, if you're not a member of Women Who Wow, is a great way to do that. The second thing that was listed as a challenge for, sorry about that. Hold on one sec. I'm sorry, it's just sponsors. It is just sponsors coming to the door to deliver more stuff to give away to you guys. All right. So the second challenge was accessing funding. And this is always one that gets me. Like in the earlier days of my business, I was always like asked how women can get funding for their business. And my answer was always the same, like sell something. You could always sell something. I don't know a faster, easier, more guaranteed route to getting money for your business than to sell something, for God's sakes, right? So accessing funding, an issue for women entrepreneurs. However, I do have a Google alert on the phrase women entrepreneurs, and I get a little irritated with it because what happens is I get these notices every day, and it's always these like headlines that make women entrepreneur businesses like a charity of some sort, right? Like so-and-so gives X number of dollars to women entrepreneurs. And it's like, it's not that I don't mind, receiving a gift or a grant or something like that. I don't begrudge people who do it, but accessing funding, you can always fund your own growth by bootstrapping it. And a lot of amazing companies did. I think it was UPS, not women owned, but UPS began on a bike, right? It began on a bike delivering packages. So if you need funding, you don't always have to look outside of yourself or looking at the banks and all of the traditional sources. By God, sell something and get the funding that you need. The third challenge that women entrepreneurs need to overcome is, allegedly, according to this list, struggling to be taken seriously. Now, I'm going to make not that many friends with this response, but here's the deal. If you don't take your business seriously, neither will anyone else. Neither will anyone else. A lot of women entrepreneurs will complain about people not taking their business seriously, and they treat it like a playground. They show up when they want. They don't show up when they don't want. They get their period and don't show up. And I'm not talking about our women entrepreneurs, but if your business isn't being taken seriously by other people, you've really got to ask, do I take my business seriously? Do I treat it like an actual business? Do I invest in it? Do I invest in myself? Do I show up even when I don't feel like it? You know, the way I did when I had a job. So if you struggle to be taken seriously, you got to look in the mirror and say, do I take my business seriously? Because I'll be honest with you, I have never struggled with being taken seriously about my business. Not now and not ever before, right? Because I always take my business seriously, and that lays the groundwork for how other people treat and or view my business. The fourth challenge, according to this list, that women entrepreneurs face is owning your accomplishments. And this is a huge one. I just had dinner with a woman last night who I dearly love. We go way back. And one of the challenges we were talking about is that women tend to not own our accomplishments. We tend to highlight other people and their part, right? We tend to, and these are not bad things, by the way. I think these are amazing things, but we also have to own the fact that we do amazing work. So in this case with my friend, she always like touted her vendors, right? Like the website designers that she worked with, the graphic designers that she works with, the stylists that she works with. And I'm like, but you were the brains, you were the genius behind it all. And we need to own our accomplishments. So if you're struggling with owning your accomplishments, then you really just want to write these things into existence. You want to make sure that you are owning, at least in your own journal, I'm so proud that I blank, right? I'm so proud that I blank. If you're just joining on, you can win a ginormous gift box from our many sponsors. In the middle of this live stream, we got another 2-box delivery. I don't know what's in there, but all you have to do to have a chance to win is comment, right? So comment on any of these challenges or list your own challenge in there. And towards the end of this live stream, which will be in about 8 minutes, I will pick a name and they will be given a gift box. Carol Clark won a gift box because she was the first comment. She did not know that. She was the first comment. So you guys will have a chance to win. All right, so I am going to keep going. So the 4 challenges we've done so far is defying social expectations. If the people in your social circle don't expect you to succeed wildly, change your social circle. Accessing funding, by God, sell something if you need money. Struggling to be taken seriously, you take your business seriously, other people will follow suit. Owning your accomplishments, this is just a command. We've just got to get better at doing it. We've got to be better at accepting compliments. We've got to be better at owning the part that we bring to the table, as well as this part that comes naturally to us, which is to simply honor and respect other people's work as well. The 5th challenge that this list said they were going to overcome is building a support network. Building a support network. Let me tell you something. I feel like building a support network has been interchangeable, to our detriment, interchangeable with networking, right? Or friendship building. Guys, you need a place that you can go that if your business, if the crap has hit the fan, you need a place where you can go and say, lay it all bare. Here is what's going on. I need help with X, right? If things are going really well, but you're dropping balls, you need a place to come that's a safe spot where you can mastermind and be yourself and let it all hang out. And you need a support network that you can depend on. So if you are an entrepreneur, a woman entrepreneur, if you consider yourself seriously driven, there's no better support network than Women Who Wow. I encourage you to message me about joining. There's never been a better time, unless you join at the beginning because you'd pay a super low fee. There's never been a better time to join Women Who Wow. So building a support network, who do you need to be at your best when you're at the helm of your business, right? Don't only think about things like, okay, well, I've got the lady who's doing my taxes. I've got my accountant. I've got my QuickBooks person. I've got my lawyer in case I need it. Don't think just in terms of what the Business 101 books tell you need to have. Who do you need to be your best, at your best when you go to market with your business? What support do you need, right? So you want to build a support network deliberately. Do not intersect this with the need for a social network, right? Or a need for vendors. Don't do that, right? It does a disservice to your business. Women should not struggle with building a support network. The key is we get it backwards, right? We get it backwards. Guys, if you're just coming on, make sure you make a comment so that you can be entered to win our amazing gift box. Probably at least $300 worth of stuff in this first gift box going out. So if you want it, make a comment about something we're talking about. But build a support network. This is critical, and there's no reason that women should struggle with this. Actually, this challenge should be something that women entrepreneurs are really excited about. Like, this is a challenge that we naturally overcome because we are natural networks. We've just got to be deliberate about it, right? A quick note about that is we cannot burden our business with the need for affirmation or acceptance or applause or friendship, right? Like a lot of times if we're going to our business networking groups or our business events and our core need isn't to grow our business, our core need is to be accepted or to have somebody say we're doing a great job or whatever, like then we start to blur the lines. And I can only imagine that's why this challenge was listed as building a support network is a challenge for women entrepreneurs. I just believe we're better at it than men, I would assume. So yeah, Elizabeth, I was going to say the same thing. The pricing issue is definitely about recognizing our accomplishments and value. It's the exact same issue. And also a little bit about like mindset and social expectations. Like if we are expected to somehow be cheaper, or if we are afraid to quote a big fee, like what will, like is that girl gotten too big for her pants or whatever. So definitely it's something that you want to be clear of, but that is, you were dead on for that. Yeah, so Michelle says this is her network. Excellent. Balancing business life. We're going to talk about that with McKenna. Pricing, self-care. Self-care is definitely part of my support network, right? So even in the earlier days, and this is going to seem so like silly, but in the earliest days of my business, my self-care was kind of limited. We didn't have any money and we didn't have any time, and our kids were like, young and stair steps. And so like my self-care was a bath every night, like a luxurious bath every single night. And my husband was part of that support team because he really gave me that time where, if you're a mother of young kids, like you go to the bathroom and like the hands are under the door, they're knocking on it, like you can't even pee as a break. So self-care is huge, and that is definitely as part of my support network to this day. All right, we're going to move on to the sixth challenge. That this list, these are not my top selling challenges. And maybe I'll do that next week. I'll cover the challenges I think women entrepreneurs are facing, but this is from like Google. But the sixth one is balancing business and family life. This is a huge, huge thing that comes up for women entrepreneurs. Not sure why it doesn't come up for men entrepreneurs, except that we are kind of expected as women to do most of the parenting, most of the housework. Now, it doesn't work that way in my house. I just never played that role. I never pretended to be like Molly Maid or Holly Housewife. Like, I don't know how long I could have pulled that one off. So it doesn't work that way in my house, but a lot of women are expected to do that. And frankly, in my own marriage and in my own relationships and extended family, like I do carry the bulk of the family stuff, right? Like the emotional stuff with the kids. I do still carry all of that. And that can be a lot. You have more than one kid, like they're all having a crisis. It can take away the day. But here's the thing. When you're struggling with balancing business and family life, I really invite you to consider not trying to balance family and business life. Like I never aimed for balance. Frankly, I didn't aim for balance because I took my girls to gymnastics one day, and they were walking a tightrope, right? Or like not a tightrope, but the balance beam. And I remember back then, my girls are 21 and 19. So back then, like the big buzzword for women who worked, not even women entrepreneurs, the big buzzword for women who worked at all for money was the word balance. And I remember watching my girls, and they'd walk on the balance beam. They'd dip a toe down and put it up, and then they dip a toe down and they put it up. And like I remember thinking, man, I don't want to balance. Balance requires me to be too much of a surface person. Balance requires me to have to never dive in deep and never like suck the nectar out of life. And besides that, I didn't want to balance. Balance is like hard to maintain. The equilibrium is off. And it just like, I revolted at the word balancing business and life. And so I looked into like juggling. Did juggling make more sense for me? Can I successfully juggle, growing a business, replacing my income, and, and raising these 3 kids? Can I successfully juggle? And then I looked into juggling, and it's like the first thing they do if you were to hire a juggling coach, not that I suggest anybody has here, but if you've hired a juggling coach, one of the first things you're going to see, guys, is the fact that they require you to give a guilt-free drop. They require you to drop a ball. Now, when you have young kids, and now, my kids are not young anymore, but as a mother, sometimes you don't have a guilt-free drop. Newsflash, right? Sometimes you don't have something that you can just drop at a moment's notice and just like worry about it later. So the balance thing didn't work for me and the juggling thing didn't work for me, but I'll tell you what worked for me. So if you are struggling with balancing business and family life, whether you're a wife, a mother, an aunt, whatever it is, if you are struggling with that, guys, you have got to just live according to priority, period. It's the only way to do it. Balance is unsustainable. Juggling sucks. So live according to your own priorities. Make sure you know and that you're clear on your priorities. You schedule those in and you ruthlessly and unapologetically protect those boundaries. Ruthlessly and unapologetically. In fact, my mentor said that if you want to raise your income, it is directly tied, your income is directly tied to how ruthlessly and unapologetically you protect your time. Liz says there really isn't true balance. There always seems to be that which we need to focus on at different times, different things at different times, sometimes more business. Absolutely. But you know what? Balance is unsustainable, but we can always live on according to priority. But that's true. Like with what Liz said, like sometimes you just got to close the office door and gut it out. And other times you got to close the office door and be mom or wife. And so we've got to be willing to live according to our own priorities and set our own schedule, make sure that we're living in integrity with what we really value. And the seventh challenge that this one article said women entrepreneurs are all facing is coping with fear of failure. Now, I have a full course called Mental Toughness, and I invite you guys to check it out. If you want, I can message you about that. But you know what? Like, fear is an issue, and I was never afraid of failure. Largely, I think, because I failed so much. You know, it's like, how can you be afraid of something that which you have become so expert in, right? So I was never like afraid of failure so much, but I really was afraid of success. I was afraid success would take away some of my freedom. Like, I value the freedom in my schedule. I value freedom in general as a primary driver for who I am, a primary part of what I value. And so time freedom, money freedom, that kind of thing. And so I feared that certain levels of success, and this is something I get to address over and over again, but I get to address it over and over again by, you know, at each new level of success, I get a little bit worried and tentative that it's somehow going to mess up my life, right? Like, it's somehow going to make my life complicated. Like, Women Who Wow is full of women who are seriously driven, but they are absolutely unwilling to complicate their lives at the altar of financial success, right? We want financial success and create it anyway, but we do it on our own terms. And so coping with fear of failure or coping with the fear of success. Guys, you have got to have a stance, a courageous stance, that it doesn't matter if you're afraid, I'm still going to do X, right? So I have this little thing, when I get afraid, largely of success or complicating my life or whatever, then I do write down the fears and I'm like, okay, are they reasonable? Are they legit, right? I'll be very honest with you. I grieve when people like Rachel Hollis and her husband split up. My marriage is primary to my life. I don't ever want to let go of my marriage. And when I see that, although it was you know, from afar, it was definitely easier, I guess, for us to see than for them. But, you know, I hate that. I grieve that because I don't ever want to have success overtake what I value most. And it grieves me because I think, oh my God, like, what if that level of success requires, like, you know, some sort of sacrifice in my personal life? And so you write it down. Is it rational? It's not really rational. It's not really rational, this fear of mine, but, you know, write it down. It's like, is it rational? Is it reasonable? You know, could it happen? And is it enough to stop me from going forward? And that's how I deal with fear of any sort, right? Like, so is it likely to happen? And if it is, if it could happen, is it enough to keep me from moving forward? And it's not, right? Because I'm never going to choose fear over my potential and over my destiny. So I invite you guys to put in any questions that you have. Those are the 7 challenges that Google says all women entrepreneurs are trying to overcome. So defying social expectations, get new social circles, access funding, sell something, struggle to be taken seriously, you take your business seriously, own your accomplishments, duh, right? Of course we got to do that. Build a support network, do it deliberately, make sure that your support network is what you need to be the best you when you go to market. Balancing business and family life, don't try, live according to priorities, instead, and then cope with fear of failure by acknowledging the fear and then saying, even though I'm afraid, I still choose blank and going forward with that. So here's what I want you to do. Alicia, I would like you to pick a number, let's say 1 through 13. Pick a number 1 through 13, Alicia, and type it in. Whoops. If you could type that in for me, I'm going to wait a little bit and see if you guys have any questions. And then we're going to choose a door prize. We'll call it a door prize, right? Be mailed to you. I'm looking on my computer, Alicia, to see if you have picked a number. All right. Liz, could you pick a number? Could you pick a number, Liz? I don't know if Alicia is still here. It says Alicia says 7. Okay, so we're going to pick the 7th comment from the top. I'm not going to do this every week. I am going to give a prize every week, but I'm not going to do it this way every week. So we're going to go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Michelle Borthwick. This is my support network. This is 7th comment. So Michelle Borthwick and Carol Clark get about a $300 gift basket, and there are going to be a ton of opportunities to win, guys. Both our members, we're going to be giving away prizes at our member-only virtual events, which happen every Tuesday at 11 a.m. We're going to be giving these away every Tuesday at 12:15. We're going to give them away in different ways, and I am just so excited to have you guys here. And I just love that you guys are with me. And we're going to tackle some pretty cool stuff on the Women Entrepreneur Success Show. So please invite your friends. If you have driven women entrepreneurs, I would love to meet them. Our Facebook page gives daily resources for women entrepreneurs, and we have media events. We have one coming up this week. You can meet with Rachel Ray and Wendy Williams, their producers, CNN, Fox News, that kind of thing. So if you want in on that, then let me know. And you guys are going to be just in for a treat with the Women Entrepreneur Success Show. We've got some really cool stuff planned, and I will look forward to talking with you soon. All right, bye guys.